from the most insane songs ever sung to rock anthems accused of causing problems, here are 20 of the most controversial restricted songs of the 1970s. Coming in at number 20, we've got Brown Sugar from the Rolling Stones, which is not going to be forgotten in a hurry. When the Stones dropped Brown Sugar in 1971, it was explosive and not just musically, but also thematically. The song blended catchy rock riffs with lyrics touching on slavery, interracial sex, and drug use. That combination was simply too much for many radio stations, which restricted its play. And yet, despite the bans, it became one of the Stones' most recognizable hits, proving that controversy often fuels popularity rather than killing it. But while Brown Sugar shocked us with provocative themes, our next song raised eyebrows for a very different reason. Number 19, Tonight's the Night by Rod Stewart.
Don't say a word, my virgin child.
Rod was not shy about pushing boundaries, but Tonight's the Night turned up the heat to 11. The lyrics openly described seduction, including references to losing virginity, which made censors quite nervous. Some stations banned it outright, while others heavily edited it before airing it. Ironically, the scandal only drove its popularity, and it stayed at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 8 weeks. While Stewart's song stirred trouble over intimacy, Elton John proved that some wild lyrics paired with disco beats could be even more controversial. Coming in at number 18, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting by Elton John. Elton John was already known for flamboyance, but Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting sparked debates for glorifying rowdy, youthful culture. With its raucous lyrics and drunken brawls and rebellion, many critics argued it promoted violence. As a result, some broadcasters hesitated to air it. Still, it perfectly captured the wild spirit of rock and roll and became a fan favorite. While he pushed for rowdy behavior in his song, Helen Reddy took on a different kind of controversy, one footed in politics and gender roles. Coming in at number 17, it's I Am Woman by Helen Reddy.
'Cause it only serves to make me.
This song wasn't banned for profanity or drugs, but for empowerment. Its feminist message challenged the traditional gender roles, which led some conservative stations to blacklist the track. But surprisingly, that only made it stronger as it became a rallying cry for the women's liberation movement. The song soared to number 1, and Reddy even earned a Grammy for it, famously thanking God because she makes everything possible. While I Am Woman sparked political and cultural debates, our next song showed the world that controversy could go hand in hand with anarchy and music. Number 16, Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. This song may sound smooth and soulful, but in 1973 it was downright scandalous because the song's sensuality was considered far too explicit for mainstream radio at the time. Many stations banned or restricted it, worried that it would corrupt family-friendly airwaves. Still, the public couldn't resist its seductive groove, and it went on to become one of Gaye's biggest hits, redefining soul music in the process. While Marvin Gaye celebrated passion in the most open way possible, our next song challenged authority in an even louder and more aggressive way. At number 15, it's Let's Spend the Night Together. The Rolling Stones pushed sexual boundaries with unapologetic directness that made television executives lose their cool. To resolve this, producers demanded Mick Jagger change the lyrics to Let's Spend Some Time Together for their live performance. Jagger complied but rolled his eyes dramatically each time he sang the sanitized version, turning censorship into performance art. Because of this, some radio stations promoted the flip side, Ruby Tuesday, instead, avoiding the song's controversial content entirely. While the tension between emerging sexual freedom and traditional morals defined the era, here's a band that stirred trouble with a different twist. Coming in at number 14, it's LOLA. While the famous Kink song gained controversy for being about the love between a man and a transvestite, it was banned by the BBC for production placement regarding a reference in the lyrics to Coca-Cola. Kink's frontman and songwriter Ray Davies responded by recording a different version of the song that changed the line "where you drink champagne and it tastes like Coca-Cola" to "cherry cola," so that the government-run station, which at the time couldn't be seen as endorsing any product, could play the song on the air. While LOLA battled product placement bans, our next song faced fire for something far more dangerous. Number 13, Light My Fire. The Doors ignited controversy with psychedelic poetry that authorities interpreted as drug propaganda. For their song, Light My Fire, it faced scrutiny for the lyrics, "Girl, we couldn't get much higher," which censors viewed as promoting drug use. Not only that, the Ed Sullivan Show asked Jim Morrison to alter the line for their live broadcast. Morrison agreed, but deliberately sang the original lyrics anyway, leading to the Doors' permanent ban from the show. While Morrison refused about a censorship, The Who made censors nervous with Just a Stutter. Coming in at number 12, it's My Generation. Sometimes just the suggestion of an obscenity is enough to throw censors into a tizzy. The BBC banned The Who song My Generation because of the line, "Why don't you all fade away?" The official reason was that the line would be offensive to people who stutter. However, there were also rumors that the BBC was really most concerned that the word fade suggested a more offensive word. Although the BBC eventually reversed their decision due to the song's overwhelming popularity, our next song shook America with its stark honesty. Coming in at number 11, it's Eve of Destruction.
Can't bring integration when human respect is disintegrated.
Although Barry McGuire's mellow folk rock song didn't feature a single obscenity or explicit content, the song was banned by many U.S. radio stations. The reason? Radio station programmers took issue with the artist's general views on the state of the world. And the song McGuire laments that human respect is disintegrating. This whole crazy world is just too frustrating. It happened that the song was released during the Vietnam War. It also included the line, "You're old enough to kill, but not for voting," which apparently struck some listeners as anti-war. While McGuire warned of chaos, John Lennon dreamed of peace, and that dream became just as controversial. Coming in at number 10, it's Imagine. John Lennon's utopian vision challenged fundamental religious and political beliefs. Released in 1971, Imagine promoted a world without countries, possessions, or religion, ideas that threatened both Cold War politics and traditional faith of the time. This made critics attack its perceived promotion of atheism and communism, leading to bans in several regions. Lennon's vision might have upset the powerful, but Lou Reed unsettled them in an entirely different way. Coming in at number 9, Walk on the Wild Side.
Would have held that patch and said, "Hey babe, take."
This song couldn't be overlooked because it navigated taboo subjects, drug use, trans identity, and the New York Underground with quiet confidence. Also, its frank references led to bans or censorship on several radio stations. While Walking on the Wild Side later became a defining 70s anthem, our next song from country music's queen Loretta Lynn shook things up. At number 8, it's The Pill.
For all those years since I've got.
Loretta Lynn seems normal by today's standards, but popular contemporary country music wasn't the rebellious raw music the country was when she was in her prime. The song reflected elements of Lynn's personal life, as she'd been a teenage bride and already had 6 children by the time she wrote the song. And so her song, The Pill, was considered to be one of the first songs about birth control pills and was banned from many radio stations due to it. While Loretta sang about freedom and family life, Donna Summer turned heads with number 7, Love to Love You Baby. This disco track featured overly sensual moans and simulated orgasmic sounds, prompting the BBC and other radio stations to ban it for being too erotic. And yet, it became one of Summer's signature hits and cemented her as the queen of disco. Talk about a wild ride. Coming up next is one of rock's most raw protests, with Creedence Clearwater Revival coming in at number 6, Fortunate Son. CCR exposed class warfare during America's most divisive conflict because it criticized how wealthy families use privilege to avoid Vietnam War service while working-class kids face the draft. This anti-establishment message made military radio uncomfortable, leading to bans on the Armed Forces Vietnam Network. While CCR attacked war and privilege, Billy Joel playfully challenged religion in our next song at number 5, Only the Good Die Young. Billy Joel's playful seduction of a Catholic girl ignited backlash from religious groups. Immediately, radio stations dropped it. But regardless, the controversy helped propel the song and its album to soaring chart success. From Joel's cheeky charm, we turn up the volume and unapologetic kicks from MC5. Coming in at number 4, it's Kick Out the Jams. The proto-punk band MC5 had their debut album banned due to an obscenity in the opening line of the title track. The original album that featured the offending lyric printed on the inside cover was pulled from store shelves. But despite the censorship, the Detroit-based department still refused to carry either version of the album. Eventually, MC5 got its reputation stained as one of the most controversial bands in rock history. While MC5 might have caused a stir, our next band pushed the needle. Number 3, Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. When Radio 1 DJ Mike Redd decided to draw his listeners' attention to the debut single from a new band from Liverpool, it's unlikely he was intending on making them one of the 70s most famous and infamous bands. The outcome wasn't desirable because the BBC banned the song even though it was immediately ranked at number 1 for 5 weeks, and Frankie Goes to Hollywood became a household name. The 70s was all about rattling the establishment, and nothing did that better than number 2, God Save the Queen. During the Queen's Silver Jubilee, the Sex Pistols released God Save the Queen, calling the monarchy a fascist regime and declaring she ain't no human being. Naturally, the song wasn't even allowed to settle down. The BBC flat out banned the single, and major retailers refused to even stock it. But before punk shook the throne, the Beatles had already proven lyrics alone could shake the BBC with our number 1 song, I Am the Walrus. For a long time, the Beatles proved psychedelia could be as dangerous as rock rebellion. Released on Magical Mystery Tour, I Am the Walrus pushed lyrical boundaries into uncharted territory, even to the extent that fans were eager to explore the band's experimental phase. But the song eventually became a forbidden fruit that tasted even sweeter because BBC banned it for the seemingly innocent line, "You let your knickers down," proving that censors feared even a hint of impropriety. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, if you enjoyed yourself, please give us a like and a subscribe, and don't forget to stay tuned for more content.